In this weather update, we're forecasting finally a cold fall blast, bringing fall-like temperatures to much of the central and eastern United States this weekend into early next week. Also looking at the significant severe weather event ongoing right now into northern Texas and southern Oklahoma. And then finally looking at Tropical Storm Philippe, expected to bring heavy rain and gusty winds to the northeastern region of the United States this weekend. All of that is coming right up. All right, welcome back into another more weather forecast video. My name is Becca Moore, and I'm back here in the weather studio. It's been a little bit since I've had a video here, since it has been generally pretty quiet here in the United States. We've had, of course, Lee, but I covered that, and we had Tropical Storm Ophelia, brought rain, but we really haven't had much severe weather. It's been pretty quiet, which is great, but it has been hot, and we don't really like that. A lot of people are ready for fall. I am. Raise your hand if you're ready for fall. You guys are definitely raising your hand if you're watching this video, because I definitely am, because I'm definitely ready for fall. Did I say definitely enough? Now let's get straight into the forecast. Looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, we do have an enhanced risk that includes places to the north of Dallas, including Wichita Falls, Texas, and places to the south of Oklahoma City, including a place like Elk City, Oklahoma, and Norman, Oklahoma is here. So that's 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for severe weather. We have a very low-end tornado threat with a 2% tornado threat. Still can't rule out an isolated tornado here and there. And then we do have a 30% hatch risk, which basically means it is a very significant risk for hail as well as damaging winds. So you need to protect your cars, put them under your carports, in your garage tonight, and of course this afternoon, as we are already seeing those storms pop off. And you really do need to be inside. When thunder roars, go indoors. Heed all of those warnings, those severe thunderstorm warnings, those tornado warnings, please, and flash flood warnings. Please heed those warnings. Please go inside, because these storms are dangerous. There's many of them, and you really do want to be prepared for them. So again, we do have that enhanced risk already ongoing. Let's take a look at the current radar right now, and we do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, one including parts of Oklahoma City, one also including places to the west of Oklahoma City, another one to the in southern Oklahoma, and then many severe thunderstorm warnings, as you can see right here. Big time hail reports near Wichita Falls, Texas, over towards a place to the east of Lubbock, Texas, there in Paducah County. So many severe thunderstorm warnings. Could we have a couple tornado warnings? Yes, that's possible. But what we're mainly going to see as we go into the late afternoon and into early evening and into tonight are going to be those severe thunderstorm warnings, meaning damaging winds, big time hail. You really, really need to be locked in to that forecast. You need to be prepared for these storms, because they are going to mean business. And damaging winds and big-time hail are nothing to mess around with, so you want to be indoors as these storms come through your area and your neck of the woods. Now, let's shift gears, looking at the cold blast. Finally, I'm so excited for this cold blast that is coming. We are having that cold front going through the Midwest right now, and we are going to see at least 1 or 2 good days of cool weather and cool nights here in the central United States and into the eastern United States. So looking at tomorrow around 1 p.m. going into here around 4 p.m. This is around 7 p.m. and then this is around 10 p.m. and then this is going into early on Friday. That cold front is going to sag to the south into Missouri. Here is your cold front. It's going to move to the south and east over the coming days, in the coming hours really, as we go into tomorrow and into Friday. So you can see really cold temperatures. This is an 850 millibar temperature anomaly. So this is a little bit higher up in the atmosphere, but it shows that those cool air, that cold front is coming into the Midwest. So by the time we go into Friday, we're really going to be feeling those cool temperatures by noontime on Friday in a place like St. Louis, in a place like Chicago, in a place like Omaha, Nebraska here as well, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That cold blast and bowling ball trough is just going to continue to go south. And here, looking at Saturday around 4 p.m., we really are seeing that cold air throughout the Midwest and into the eastern portion of the United States. So it's just going to be a great Saturday. Highs probably in the Midwest, ranging from 60 to 70 degrees. That's perfect if you ask me. Over into the east, we're going to be dealing with those temperatures as well. And Friday night into Saturday night too, and Saturday morning, as well as Friday morning, it's going to be pretty cold in some places. We may even see some freeze watches here and freeze warnings up into the upper Midwest, but you can see that sticks around into Sunday, into Monday in the eastern United States. But by the time we get to Monday in a place like St. Louis and a place like Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota, that warm air, that equal chance air, that normal air or above average air is going to be moving back in, but we are going to continue to see that cold air into parts of the eastern United States and Great Lakes region through Tuesday, but that will finally move out by the time we go into next Wednesday, into Thursday. But if we rewind it here, you can see that cold blast coming in this weekend, sticking around for the eastern United States throughout the week into midweek, but ending late week. Really get outside, enjoy this, go leaf peeping if you want to. I know it's a great time for that if you're in North Carolina, up through the northeastern United States into the upper Midwest. Great weekend for outdoor activities. The temperatures are going to be phenomenal across the Midwestern region and into the eastern region as well. Now let's look at the day 3 minimum temperatures, which these are the minimum temperatures Friday night into early Saturday morning. As you can see, we're getting down to 29 into 32, below freezing up here into North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, parts of Kansas, and Nebraska, as well as the mountainous regions of Montana, Wyoming here, and Colorado as well, and parts of Iowa and Minnesota. So we are going to go below freezing in those spots. Even a place like Chicago, 46 degrees, 47 degrees in Detroit, 46 degrees in a place like St. Louis, 41 degrees in Kansas City. So it is going to be cold night. You're going to want to get out the hoodies, get out the sweater, maybe even get out that light jacket here, as well as these cool temperatures during the nighttime. If you're having a bonfire, perfect for those activities as well. And then looking at the current NWS hazards, we do have a freeze watch in effect for portions of North Dakota. That means that we will likely see that frosty grass in many places up there in the North Dakota, into South Dakota, into Nebraska, and as well as parts of Kansas. This watch will likely extend to the south in the coming days, as we are going to definitely see those cooler than normal temperatures, maybe even below freezing temperatures during the nighttime, especially Friday night into Saturday morning. We are likely going to get below freezing up here into the northern plains, and of course down here into the south, into the southern plains, into parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We do have those severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing, and those severe thunderstorm watches as well. So again, you got to be prepared for that flooding and severe weather tonight in that region. Now, looking at the day 4 maximum temperatures, this is the maximum temperatures for Saturday. 61 in St. Louis. That is pretty much perfect temperature down in St. Louis. Florida, you're staying hot. Definitely over here into Las Vegas, down towards Phoenix and Los Angeles, you're staying hot. But in this Midwestern, eastern region, the cold front will probably be around here at this point. We are going to see beautiful, spectacular temperatures. 58 in Columbus, Ohio. 58 in Charleston, West Virginia. 59 in a place like Lexington, Kentucky. 66 in a place like Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Just amazing temperatures. 52 as your high. These are high temperatures in a place like Minneapolis, and 57 in Chicago. So these are your high temperatures on Saturday. They won't last for long. It's going to get hot again as we go into next week in a place like Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, up towards Minneapolis as well. We are going to stick around with that cold air for just a little bit in the eastern United States, so really soak it in. Do those outdoor activities, soak in these fall temperatures, because it's probably going to be a little bit of a false fall. We're really getting into fall, but this is probably going to be another round of that false fall, as they're not going to stay forever. This is not going to be 61 is not going to be the high temperature next Thursday, unfortunately, in St. Louis. So it's another round of false fall, but enjoy it while it lasts. Now let's switch gears again to Tropical Storm Felipe, which is north of Puerto Rico right now. Pretty small wind field, and it's going to likely stay a tropical storm. Could it get up to maybe low-end hurricane status, maybe, but it really doesn't matter. Tropical storm by 2 p.m. Friday affecting Bermuda. You got to be prepared for those gusty winds. You have a tropical storm warning already, and those heavy rains. This is going to be a fast-moving tropical cyclone. 2 a.m. on Saturday, still a tropical storm. 2 p.m. on Saturday, still a tropical storm, moving very fast. And then 2 p.m. on Sunday, it's probably going to be a tropical storm or tropical depression up here to the north of Maine. So here's the cone for Maine. Again, a lot of wiggle room. We're likely, if we see wiggle, we're probably going to see a wiggle or toggle to the right here, to the east, towards Nova Scotia and Halifax, Nova Scotia as well. We're going to be having to watch that Bay of Fundy as well. Some minor storm surge, heavy rain, and gusty winds bringing down power lines are going to be the main issue we're going to have to watch for, again, in a place like Maine and into the Bay of Fundy there in Nova Scotia. This is probably going to be a lot like how hurricane or tropical storm at that point Lee was up there. Wasn't too significant, didn't have too significant impacts, pretty minor impacts, but it's probably going to be a lot like that. So just be prepared for that. You've already gone through it once. Be prepared to go through it again. Again, make sure you are able to have your power on. If you have a generator, that's great. If you don't, make sure you have a place to go if your power does go out, because we are likely going to see those gusty winds knocking out power. Now, here is the GFS model. This is its prediction by the time we go into Saturday here at 7 p.m. We are seeing those gusty winds, 68 miles per hour near Acadia National Park here in Maine, down towards Kennebunkport, around 50 miles per hour, and this is wind gusts, not sustained winds. But if we do see a little bit of a wobble to the west, we will see these winds into probably New Hampshire, maybe down towards Boston. But overall, it's going to be a very gusty weekend in the Northeast. We're going to have that northwest flow here as well from the northwest, and we are going to see Tropical Storm Philippe. So that mixed together is going to create for a pretty gusty, rainy, blistery weekend, so just be prepared for that up into the Northeast, especially if you're there in Maine. And that about wraps up this More Weather Forecast video. Make sure you subscribe here on my YouTube channel. Go follow me on Twitter or X, whatever we call it now. Make sure you stay prepared out there for that severe weather tonight. I'm stressing it so much. You really do need to be prepared if you're in southern Oklahoma, northern Texas for those strong, severe storms. Cold blast, it's finally here. Let's go. And then, of course, Tropical Storm Philippe in the Northeast. You got to be prepared for that as well on Sunday when it makes landfall in between May and Nova Scotia. We'll get more details on that, and I will have more updates on Twitter. As always, I will see you soon with more weather.